characters on there, so I'm probably overanalyzing everything. Sorry, that photo doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. I can see you're kind of tense. Do you think you could tell me what's going on your mind right now?
Okay.
Whatever you think is fine. You can close your eyes if you need to feel it.
It feels like there's this lump in my throat. I don't know, it's all just really heavy in my throat. Because I'm trying not to cry.
Okay. You can keep your eyes closed. Now, think about that lump in your throat. And what if it was really burdensome, like you're starting off far away and getting closer? And now, try letting go of that lump. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in one more time and breathe out. We have to stop for today. But I'll see you when you come back from break, okay?
Okay.
And I hope you have a really nice, relaxing time at home, okay?
You too. Something you might not know about me is that my favorite animal is stoat. I like stoats because they're these super lovable furry things. Like you look at a picture and be like, this is the most adorable animal you've ever seen. Because it is. But what a picture doesn't show you is that stoats are actually vicious. They have sharp teeth and they'll take on prey 3 times their size. And they'll win. And the last blow is biting the neck of their prey with those sharp teeth. So I like stoats because they're really, really sweet until you piss them off. And then they're really, really not sweet anymore.
Something you might not know about me is that some of the clothes I have are the same ones I've had since I was 12. Because I haven't really grown since I was 12. There's a blue dress that we used to show us for Halloween at school. And I also used to audition to senior in high school. And I got the part. The shirt with the heart and the rainbow colored pencils. It was my friend's first. And then we started in middle school, so it was mine. But even though this stuff from when I was 12 still fits me, I'm not sure it still fits me.
Something you might not know about me is that the first time I had a panic attack, I didn't know that that's what it was. And so the girl next to me offered me a panic attack gun. It calmed me down, she told me. I didn't know what a panic attack was, but calming down seemed nice, and so did she. So I took the gum and I chewed it. And even after the panic attack was over, I kept chewing it all the way home on the subway. Because I still didn't know what a panic attack was, and I thought it might come back.
Something you might not know about me is that I used to go fit inside the lockers at my middle school. They were only stacked 2 on top of each other, not 3, so I could fit. With the doors closed even. And there's not some horrible parts of this story where people shut me in lockers, because we all thought it was cool I could fit. So the end of the story would be when my music teacher said it was time for class to start, so we should stop testing out if all the lockers are the same size.
Something you might not know about me is that there was this boy, and I had a crush on him. And he used to touch me in the hallway at school by our lockers. And I didn't know you weren't supposed to do that. And I didn't know it was on purpose. But it was, and I had a crush on him.
Something you might not know about me is that there was this boy, and he was my friend. And he used to touch me in the hallway at school at our lockers. When he thought no one would notice, and I wouldn't know it was on purpose, but it was, and he was my friend.
Hey, it's been so long.
So long, really. Is that a cotton candy Cappuccino?
Yeah, yep, it is. And is that...
Chai tea latte?
So some things don't change.
Yeah, I guess not. So how are you?
I'm good. Glad the semester's over. How's Massachusetts treating you?
I really love it, honestly. I actually... Did you see the article I wrote? I think I shared on Facebook.
Yeah, I did. It was really good.
Thanks.
You know, it's crazy to think about the last time I read something you wrote. Like it was for the 5th grade newspaper or Miss Wazinski's literary magazine. Like the last time I read something you wrote was in middle school. Wow.
Are you still writing? I know we did all kinds of stuff at Parkview.
Mostly plays now, and papers when I have to. Do you still write stories? I know we used to do that a lot. Or just articles and stuff now.
Sometimes they're fun. I took a fiction writing class this semester, but mostly articles. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I remember when you read that story about Mrs. McCleary.
I think everyone remembers that. I cringe thinking about it.
I mean, I do that with my own stuff too. But you shouldn't be too hard on yourself. It was really good for, what were you, 12, 13? It was really good for 13.
Thanks.
So, have you seen anyone from Parkview? Like, recently?
I see Kristen around campus.
Right.
And I saw Ruthie a couple times last year, because she's at Cornell, you know? And we text sometimes. Oh, and over the summer, I met up with Hallie, Steph, and Katie.
That's really nice.
Yeah, it was. Do you still see people?
When I'm home, I usually hang out with Caleb, and if we have time, Adam and Carter.
Carter?
Yeah, I don't see a lot of people, but a few. I wish we hung out more.
Yeah, it really has been a long time. Like, 5 years?
We saw each other at least once in high school.
Okay, so like 4.
That's still a long time, I guess.
Yeah.
So how is everyone? Hallie, Steph, and Katie. I see Ruthie and Griffin in the neighborhood sometimes when I'm home, but everyone else, not so much.
They're good. Hallie's basically on the other side of the country, so it's good to see her when she's home.
Right, I forgot that. But she likes it?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, how's, Carter and everyone?
He seems good whenever I talk to him. He's taking a gap year.
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook. Does he know where he wants to go?
I don't know. I think he doesn't really feel like he'll get anywhere because he didn't right out of high school, so we don't talk about it much.
Are you gonna see him again before you go back?
Yeah, I think so.
Jenny, do you remember the thing with Carter? Do you remember it?
Kind of, not much. Why? Do you?
Not much, but like, it came back to me this semester while I was working on a show, and I hadn't thought about it literally since Parkview.
I don't think I'd ever thought about it till you brought it up.
But you remember all of it?
It's hazy, but yeah.
It's hazy for me, too.
Why do you ask?
I don't know. I was wondering, I guess, I don't know.
What?
I mean, we're all still Facebook friends with him.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's okay, but like, he still tags you and Michaela in posts and stuff. So, I was wondering if you guys actually remembered it, because it seemed like no one else remembered it, and that freaked me out because it made me think that I had made it all up or something, so you do remember it, right?
I mean, yeah, we talked about it at your party, the sleepover for your birthday, and then the next day we went and told Miss Goldberg. Well, not the next day because it was Saturday night, but that Monday at school we all went and told her together. I remember that.
But you still talk to him?
Yeah, it was a long time ago, and we're friends. Like, Carter and I were friends before, so we're still friends.
But that was a big deal, Jenny.
I guess I never really thought of it as a big deal. It was just a thing that happened, then he got in-school suspension, and it was over.
I was just wondering if you guys remembered it, because it felt like nobody else did.
I do remember, I just don't think it's some huge problem anymore.
Do you ever think we made it up? Like, mob mentality? Do you ever think about that?
I don't think about it at all, Alex.
Because I think about that. I told my therapist that, actually.
You have a therapist?
Yeah, after all these memories came back to me from the show I worked on, I thought it would be a good idea.
Oh.
But that's the thing, is when I talked to her about it, that's one of the things that scared me, is that we had made it all up, because I couldn't remember it. So, did we? Did we make it all up?
No.
Because the memories of it actually happening, those are still fuzzy for me. I remember the dance when I had a crush on him, but I don't remember the
The actual times it happened.
We didn't make it up.
So you remember it?
Yes, yeah, I think so. Or at least I remember we didn't make it up.
Then why are you still friends with him?
Is this like an interrogation or something?
No, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand.
Like I told you, we're still friends. Me, Carter, Adam, and Michaela. Like I had the friend group with you and Ruthie, and then I had the friend group with them. And you and Ruthie and I still talk. So sometimes I still talk to Michaela, Adam, and Carter sometimes too.
But after he did that,
After he did what, Alex? Touched us in the hallway a couple of times when it was crowded. Like, I don't think we made it up because when I asked him, he said he did it, but I don't think we should hate him for it either.
it's illegal.
He got in school suspension.
That's like nothing.
Listen, it was our word against his, and we were lucky anything happened. And then I chose to move on with my life. And we're still friends, and I don't get why you have such a problem with that.
My therapist says we repress things, and that's why I didn't think about it until now. So maybe to keep being friends with him, you repress it too?
I don't need you to psychoanalyze me, Alex. You're the one who screwed up. That's you, not me.
Right. Well, okay. I'm glad to know what you think of me.
No, that's not what I meant.
Okay.
I'm fine, Alex. I'm perfectly fine. I hadn't thought about all this stuff in 5 years. Almost 6 years, and now you're bringing it up because, I don't know, you're trying to start something between me and Carter?
I don't care about you and Carter.
Seems like you kind of do.
I don't care about Carter. I care about you. And if he did it once before to me and Hallie and Ruthie and to everyone else and to you, he could do it again to you.
You don't need to come save me from my friend.
Someone had to 6 years ago.
Well, you know what? It's been nice catching up. Nice to know we still drink the same kind of frappuccinos as when we were 12.
Jenny.
Why don't you go stir shit up with Ruthie? Because I don't have time and I don't have brain space for this. I'm over it. I'm so over it. I got over it back then and I moved on.
You're so over it?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I believe you.
You believe me?
I do.
What am I supposed to say to that? Is that supposed to make me happy?
It's not supposed to do anything. I believe you.
What the hell, Alex? You believe me? Why would you mess with me like that?
I believe you.
Shut up!
I believe you when you say that you're over it. I believe you.
Well, you know what, Alex? I'm not over it, okay? I'm not, and I'm a liar too. Because I have thought about it since then. It hasn't been 6 years since I thought about Carter at the hallway at our lockers, because it's been 6 weeks, because that's the last time I saw him. But Adam and Michaela, they don't know, and I wasn't going to be able to enter in that friend group, okay? I hardly even see you and Ruthie anymore. I wasn't going to ruin things with Adam and Michaela, because I need someone to come home to. I need someone to come home to.
Ruthie.
No, don't say anything. I need people, Alex, and you can't mess with me like that. And I have to walk out of here and still have people. And if you say anything else, I don't think I will.
Something you should know about me is that I don't actually drink cotton candy frappuccinos anymore, now that I'm not 12. And now that the people I have now drink espresso. And something you should know about me is that I wish we had stayed friends. And maybe if we did, you wouldn't have to think about Carter by our lockers all the time. And I wouldn't have to worry about not being able to remember. And preschool, and then elementary school, and then middle school together, I was the smart one. I was the one who got good grades in literally everything. And she was the musical one. She sang and she played guitar, and we started a band together. And yeah, I took piano lessons, but if you asked anyone, she was the artsy one.
When we were kids in preschool, and then elementary school, and then middle school together, I was the free spirit with music and art and everything, and she was the perfect student. We liked to sing karaoke together at sleepovers, and fashion design and stuff too. And my grades were fine, but if you asked anyone, she was the smart one.
When we were kids in kindergarten together, we both knew how to read. Like, really, we both did. But I would read to Ruthie on the rug every day during free time. Not because she couldn't, but because I liked reading to her. And she liked being read to. Her mom still likes to tell that story.
When we were kids in kindergarten together, we both lived downtown, far away from our Upper West Side bus stop. So someone had to drive us 30 blocks every day to get there. And one day, coming home from school took 5 hours because of the snow. And then we got into my mom's car around 6 p.m.
When we were kids, we went to school together for 11 years, which is a long time. And we were best friends from the very beginning. We had other friends, but Ruthie was always my number one, and I was always hers too.
When we were kids, we went to different high schools. I went to the small quirky art school, and Alex went to the big Nobel Prize science one. And everyone figured it made sense because that's who we were. Musical, talented, artsy Ruthie, and smart, good student, perfect, genius Alex. That's who we were. That's how it was.
So it's funny that we ended up in the same college town,
In the upstate middle of nowhere, New York.
but this time I was the theater major,
At the artsy liberal arts college.
and this time she was the science nerd.
At the buttoned up Ivy League.
It's funny how that happens.
It's funny how that happens.
So you came up on my Tinder last week.
How come you didn't swipe right on me?
I didn't know what you'd think.
Okay. For what it's worth, I neither. Same reason.
So I'm assuming if you're on Tinder, you're not with anyone?
It's complicated. I really should have deactivated my profile.
So there is someone.
What about you? Anyone special?
Yeah, but I'm not sure she knows I exist, honestly.
You don't give yourself enough credit.
What I thought was interesting, actually,
What?
well, you came up on my Tinder, which is about location, but then you posted a city picture that same day. And you've been posting city pictures all semester.
Yeah, I'm actually taking a semester off. I've been taking a couple of classes at Hunter.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's all right. It's just what I think I needed right now, you know?
Oh, okay. How are your parents?
They're good. They're starting to contemplate retirement, I think, but not until I'm done at Cornell. How about your parents and me and Zach?
They're good. Zach's actually, he's applying to high schools.
Wow, that's nuts. My mental image of him is like super tiny human who was simultaneously enamored with and terrified of my super tiny dog, you know?
Super tiny human who is now taller than me. Still scared of dogs, though.
So, me as a junior?
Yeah, so now that Zach's high school form is in, my parents are planning me as college visits.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad not to be in the middle of it. I feel bad not being there for advice, but I think I'd be out of my mind.
So, do you still see shows at that theater by your grandma's?
Oh yeah, I stopped doing the camp ages ago, but I still see shows when I'm up there. Are you and your parents still going up to Danbury?
Yeah, the same house and everything. They actually bought it. I didn't think they would, but it's nice being able to go up there all the time now.
I remember we used to have such a good time when we went together.
The photos came up on my time hop this summer like 5 years ago. 5 years.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, and the pictures from when we went up to your grandma's house, and we made that glove thing, where we cut up all your old socks and put charms and beads on them. I still have those in a drawer somewhere.
Wow. I'm not even sure I still have mine.
How old are your cousins now?
Miriam is almost 11, Solomon is 15, and Eli is 13.
That is just as nuts as Zach applying to high schools.
Fair.
I saw that thing you posted on Facebook.
About Ricky?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was surprised, but I also thought it was brave of you, or kind. I don't know what word. Honest. It was honest, and that's brave.
Thanks, I guess.
And Ricky was okay with it?
Yeah, his mom didn't like it very much, but he okayed it.
His mom hasn't liked you for a while, though.
Yeah, well, now you know partly why.
That isn't why you're taking the semester off, is it?
Not that post exactly.
Because I know it doesn't make it suck any less, but you know you're not a bad person, Ruthie.
I'm not sure what I am anymore, Alex. I raped him. I did that. Me.
You also owned up to it, publicly and with his permission.
Like 4 years later,
Are you going to leave Cornell?
I'm not sure.
I don't know how... There's no easy way to ask this.
What?
My mom saw this petition thing online about you being some awful person because of that post. And I know you did some really bad things when you were 14, but you're not a bad person, Ruthie. Is that why you're not at school?
Like I said, I'm taking classes at Hunter.
You know what I mean.
That might have something to do with it. Yeah.
Because I was thinking, and you remember that stuff with Carter? You remember it?
Of course.
And, Jenny says whatever, but after I saw your post and my mom showed me that petition, I kept thinking that this thing, it happened to both of us. It happened to you, and maybe it's not entirely your fault what happened, the stuff with Ricky.
Boundary issues are definitely a thing I have. Yeah.
I was wondering also, I told you I'm gay,
Yeah. Senior night with Abby. That's when I told you I was bi.
and I know I always would have been gay and you would have always been bi, and I know that. There's something in me that keeps telling me that it's because of Carter, my own internalized homophobia or whatever. I don't know, that sounds like a strong word.
I know you want it all to fit together, Alex. I know that's what you want because that's who you are. We might have switched paths somewhere. You might have become the artsy one and I might have become the scientist. But Alex, you've still always wanted there to be a way to solve the puzzle. So, maybe Carter's the reason I have boundary issues. We can fit that piece into the puzzle. But Alex, I still did what I did to Ricky. Carter didn't make me do it. I wish I could say that, but I can't.
I saw your post and I didn't know what to do. You're my best friend, Ruthie.
I don't even know when we last saw each other. Was it senior night with Abby?
For bubble tea, after school. I just finished an audition and you took a break from studying for your finals. But you're still my best friend. You always have been. And I was thinking in this thing with Carter, it was real, and so maybe it's not all of your fault what happened to Ricky.
What I did to Ricky. Not what happened to him, Alex. What I did to him. Okay, I finally managed to take responsibility, and that was hard enough. And we, Alex, we of all people know what it's like. We have to say stuff like what I did to him, and not take me out of it and say what happened to him.
I'm sorry. You're right.
And maybe I realized it sooner because of all the confusing stuff with Carter, but you always would have been gay, and I always would have been bi.
I know. Do you ever look back on the things you said or did as a kid and realize it was there all along? The fact that you weren't straight? Like, okay, I listened to all these female country singers, and I fully had a crush on most of the female leads at that theater by my grandma's.
Yeah, and that's how you know it was always going to be how it is.
When I talked to Jenny, she told me I should go stir shit up with you instead.
So you did.
Kind of, I guess. You know she still hangs out with him.
You still hang out with me.
That's different.
It's not that different.
It's different.
Carter and I aren't so different.
Don't say that.
It's true.
Carter hasn't changed. I looked at his Facebook.
Alex.
I know. I knew it wasn't going to make me feel better, but I looked. And I think he would do it again today if he had the chance. He posts all kinds of shit about awful things happening to girls. On Ask FM mostly, about how he wants to get in some girls' pants, and it's creepy. But you've changed. You feel bad. You feel responsible. I really don't think Carter feels bad.
And what if the only difference is that he got caught sooner?
Let's talk about your cousins. Let's talk about Solomon and Eli and Miriam. You said Miriam's 11, so she's in middle school now?
Alex.
Oh, no. You said she's almost 11, so she's applying to middle school. So you think she'll go to Parkview?
Alex.
Let's just go back to everything being normal. Let's go back to before all of this. Before Carter and Ricky and college and high school. Let's go back to Danbury and your grandma's house and my grandma's house. When everything was just okay? Wouldn't everything just be okay?
Alex, you're still my best friend. I didn't say it back when you said it, but you still are my best friend.
Okay.
So, how about we go somewhere else, instead of being right across the street from Parkview?
We could go to your old building over on Waterside.
Or the preschool. I think Miss Nina's still there, the yellow room.
Or we could go to that godforsaken bus stop on 60th and York.
Gideon in my mom's car to drive over snow mounds to be driven home from school.
What if we go back there?
Yeah,
Okay?
okay.
Now that we're a little more than kids, I know a little more than I did then. Reading you a story on the rug or playing house on that 5-hour bus ride home. And when we were kids, I knew you were my best friend. And now that we're a little more than kids, I know that you still are. Little dangerous things. Like taking your shoes off at someone's bar mitzvah even when the gift bag doesn't have socks. Like eating Nutella out of the jar with a spoon, or sometimes with your hands. I'm not sure why. Maybe just because it's a little dangerous.
Little dangerous things like playing trivia online, but sometimes secretly for real money. Like eating all of the chocolate pieces out of the Chocolatey Delight Special K box. Like dropping the pasta in the boiling water from way high up. I'm not sure why, maybe just because it's a little dangerous.
Little dangerous things. Like Shake Shack vanilla milkshakes outside in January. Like sneaking our leftover fries back into school. Like throwing snowballs at each other across 77th Street. I'm not sure why. Maybe just because it's a little dangerous.
Little dangerous things like crossing the off-campus lunch boundary for insomnia cookies, like rolling my eyes when my English teacher's back is turned, or sometimes when it's not, like doing my homework the morning it's due, crouched in a corner of the hall. I'm not sure why. Maybe just because it's a little dangerous.
Little dangerous things. Like my third sister, we all huddled together like meeting underground in a secret. We were all separate friend groups until there was this one thing, this one way. We figured out we were all exactly the same. And it was a little more and a little dangerous.
Little dangerous things like Monday at school after that weekend, almost like being an informant behind enemy lines. We sat in the counselor's office, and we said it, and she listened, and then it was real, and it became really real. And it was more than a little dangerous. Okay, 190, what do we say?
Canada, duh. I wasn't thinking. Lesotho?
Masaru.
Chad. Njamena. 4 more.
Did you get Australia and New Zealand?
I got all of the islands around there, but not Australia and New Zealand.
Okay, what's left?
Burkina Faso?
Ouagadougou. I don't know how to spell it, but you got it.
Got it. Is that the first time we finished it?
That was the end of the cup, yeah?
Wow.
So, what do we now?
Well, okay, we did countries, and this was country capitals. And I still need the state capitals, but you already know those. Presidents?
We both already know those.
Okay, good.
Vice presidents?
Don't tell me you haven't gotten those down yet.
It's possible. Possible. I mean, some.
How many?
All of them.
Hallie.
Secretary of State.
That is the definition of useless knowledge.
What is that?
Is there even a quiz on here for secretaries of state?
Yes.
Fine. In the name of Jeopardy, we'll do secretaries of state next.
Because if you know them, I'll have to pick your female house to back up to me.
Because that's definitely how that works.
Theoretically. You want nacho?
Sure.
Or I have some good diet
And obviously I still have Penelope. She's on my bed at school. I remember we used to take them to each other's houses and have play dates.
I remember we used to Skype. Penelope, me and Patrick, eating potatoes.
Wow. And don't forget about Steph and Pepper.
Oh, how could I forget?
I was actually wondering about something. It's weird to bring up now, but we're doing all the old things we used to, like quizzes on Squircle and nachos and chocolate and Patrick the Pup and Common Cold. Basically everything except Total Drama Island.
You could watch it if you want.
No. I mean, we can, but what I really wanted to talk to you about was...
Carter?
Yeah. You know, I always say that Ruthie is my best friend, and she's definitely my longest friend, but you always know what I'm about to say. We basically have the same brain. You're my best friend, too.
I know.
I should have said that.
It's okay. So what about her?
Jenny still hangs out with him.
Yeah, he and Adam and Michaela would meet up with her after school. They say how to make this off sometimes.
I forgot you and Jenny went to the same high school.
Yeah, most of the time we forget too.
Oh, and remember how we used to ship Ricky and Ruthie together? Like, even their names were perfect together. They were this perfect middle school couple.
I never shipped anybody for the record.
Okay, well, everybody else did. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Well, they weren't the perfect couple. They really weren't.
Yeah?
Carter,
I would ask her something about Carter.
you know. I know you, and you know me better than I know myself. You know that's about Carter.
Yeah, I do.
So, what do you think?
What? Like, am I screwed up too? You screwed up too?
I know I am.
I don't know. I never would have been a romantic intimate type person.
I think I would have been.
Probably so would have been.
And I've talked to Jenny and I've talked to Ruthie about it, and even though it all kind of sucks, I figured it out. But what I can't figure out is the in-school suspension.
I remember that.
2 or 3 days of ISS, and that was supposed to be the end of it.
3 days. 3 days.
How was that allowed to be the end of it?
It was a different time.
It was only like 7 years ago.
It was a different time.
I like to see what they put on file for that ISS.
Interesting.
How do you remember without freaking out or getting angry? There are times when I want revenge, and I don't know how I get it, but I want there to have been consequences.
Well, besides the ISS, mostly what I say to myself is that the ISS was always a permission for him to never do what he did to us anyone ever again. I don't believe in more.
What if he did do it again? What if he does?
I just have to trust that he'll get him to doing it to that other girl.
I can't trust that.
It's not a perfect solution, but I think I spend way too much time thinking about him and knowing him already. I don't have any more time to waste on Carter.
So you don't want to talk about it?
I didn't say that. I'm gonna talk about it, about him,
I will not cry. When we talk about Jenny and how she walked out of that Starbucks and how I walked out of that Starbucks 1 minute later alone. When we talk about Jenny and sitting the block from Parkview and all the happy memories all around us, but they weren't. Today in therapy, I will not cry.
Hi, Alex. How are you today?
Today, I will not cry. When we talk about Ruthie and how she's messed up and how that messes me up too. When we talk about Ruthie and sitting the block from Parkview and all the happy memories all around us, but we weren't. Today in therapy, I will not cry.
How was your break? Did you go home?
Today, I will not cry. When we talk about Hallie and how other things connect us, at least I hope to God they do. I hope. When we talk about Hallie and sitting in her room, but still Parkview's what we talk about. Today in therapy, I will not cry.
Was it good being home? Did you see any of your friends?
Today, I will not cry. When we talk about Carter and his Facebook posts that still scare me, even though he probably never thinks about me anymore. When we talk about Carter and how now when I think of Parkview, I think of him. And with all the happy memories all around us, how can that be fair? But today in therapy, I will not cry.
Anything on your mind today?
Oh, sorry. I was zoned out. It usually takes me longer than that.
You don't have to be sorry. You must be thinking about a lot right now.
I did see a lot of my friends when I went back home. Jenny and Ruthie and Hallie, I think I told you about them.
You're friends from middle school, right?
And elementary school. Yeah, like what we talked about.
That's good. And how did it go?
It was good. I mean, with Hallie it was good, and with Ruthie it was okay. With Jenny, I don't think I'll see Jenny again.
How come?
It didn't end well, but I think that's what got me to talk to Ruthie and Hallie about it, because Jenny said that I should go stir shit up with Ruthie instead, so I did. Sorry, I shouldn't say shit, should I?
It's fine. So you glad you talked to all of them?
Yeah, I guess.
What are you feeling right now?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
You can take your time.
I guess I feel relieved, maybe, but I'm still not sure.
Not sure about what? Not sure that it was the right decision to talk to them about it?
Yeah. Because I'm worried that I won't see them anymore now, and with the way that, with what Jenny said, it seemed like she was toxic for me, and I don't really want that in a friend.
That can still be a hard choice to make.
Yeah. I didn't even make that choice, though.
That's true. But you chose for yourself that maybe it was okay to not have that friendship anymore.
Yeah, I guess.
What about Ruthie? She's the one at Cornell, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You don't think you'll talk to her anymore?
I hope I will.
But you don't think you will?
No.
Why not?
I don't think anything's changed in our relationship, but I think she thinks something's different, and I think she might have caused it. But I still want to be her friend. I still want her to be my friend. She's my best friend.
And did you tell her that?
I tried.
But you don't think she believed you?
It's like for as long as I can remember, I always said that my maids of honor at my wedding would be my sister and Ruthie, because she was basically like my sister too, and that's who I wanted standing there with me when I got married.
I used to plan out my wedding party too, when I was younger.
I did it over and over again just because I liked listing it out.
When something like that, something we've listed so many times, changes as we get older, that can be hard, can't it?
Yeah.
What are you feeling right now?
I was thinking. I was wondering what happened with your wedding party.
The answer to that
is nothing yet. I'm not married. But I did have a best friend in middle school, and we stayed close for a long time. But then we grew up, and we moved to different states. And if I do get married, I'm sure I'll invite her to the wedding. But I have a different best friend now, one who would be my maid of honor. Sometimes that's just how it happens. But you know, Alex, you didn't answer my question.
What was the question?
I asked what you were feeling, and you told me what you were thinking. And I can infer from that, but I'd rather you tell me. It's okay if you're not sure. I just wanted to know whether you noticed.
Sometimes when you ask me how I'm feeling, I'm not sure how to answer that.
Thank you for telling me.
You're welcome?
I'm sensing you're not sure why I'm thinking it.
Yeah,
I notice it makes you nervous to say when you're not sure about something.
I guess.
You kind of start to hug yourself. Did you notice that?
No.
So I wanted to thank you for telling me when you're not sure about something, even though that makes you nervous.
Oh. Okay.
Can I ask you about Hallie?
Sure.
We talked about Ruthie and Jenny, but we didn't really talk about Hallie. So I'm guessing that means things went better with her?
Yeah. Yeah, we just sort of hung out at her house because that's how Hallie is. It would feel weird to ask her, hey, you want to go get coffee? Because, you know, so we just played video games and did trivia on her computer, and it was just fun.
And did you talk to her about...
About Carter? Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Weird? How?
I guess I expected her to be less okay. I mean, I don't know what's going on in her head. I don't know, because she might have a therapist she sees too, but it's just like, well, the whole time we were at Parkview, Jenny, Ruthie, and I were the perky, bubbly ones, and Hallie was this tomboy. And it's not like she became perky and bubbly overnight, because she didn't. It's just, I don't know how to say it, because she is one of my best friends.
Do you think I'm going to judge you if you say something not quite right?
Yes, and I don't want it to sound mean, I don't want it to be mean, but I think it's going to sound that way.
I promise, I won't judge you.
It's not that I thought if one of us got screwed up, it would be Hallie, because that's not what I thought at all. I thought we'd all be screwed up. And Jenny is, and Ruthie is, and I am, and Hallie's just not. It's like she's made her peace with it, with Carter, somehow.
Do you feel jealous that Hallie is at peace with it?
She's not fake at peace the way Jenny is. She's not just putting a new coat of paint over it. She really is... Pacified's not the right word. I don't know.
Would you mind if I tried to come up with the right word for you?
No? I mean, you can.
I think you look at Hallie, and it seems like she's fixed and healed. And you feel like you're never going to get there. Does that sound right?
Yes, that's exactly how it feels.
But that's the thing, Alex. You are going to get there. You are going to heal. And you don't have to believe me, but it is my belief that not you or Ruthie or Jenny or Hallie was ever broken. So I don't think there's any fixing to be done, just healing to go through.
Okay.
Do you believe that? Can you? Can you believe that you are not broken?
I'm not sure.
Alex, what are you feeling right now?
Scared.
Why?
Because it's easier to believe that I'm broken and can someday be fixed than to believe that this is the way I am forever.
That what is the way you are forever?
Scared to touch and scared to be touched and scared to talk and say the wrong thing and scared to be honest because that would mean existing outside my head, and sometimes that's even scarier.
But you do exist outside your head. I hear you.
But if you're the only one who does that really count as outside my head? keep thinking.
What do you keep thinking?
I keep thinking about how we told them what Carter did, and it was in this huge, giant group. And no matter how many times I hear it's real, it was real, it really happened, no matter how many times, I keep thinking that I made it up. Because I can't remember it, and that scares me most of all.
You were protecting yourself.
But if it wasn't real,
Your friends all know it was real, and I know you do too. But whether it was more or less, the fact that you can't remember, that is your mind protecting you more than you know how to do. And there is nothing wrong with any of that, okay, Alex?
okay,
You were protecting yourself.
I was protecting myself. I was protecting myself. I was protecting myself. When I cry tomorrow in therapy, I will cry because of something else. Someone else. For once. Because when I cried today, I didn't cry because of him or for him. I cried for myself. Because I finally figured it out. Because I'm not okay. But that doesn't make me broken. I'm not healed. But that doesn't mean I need fixing. And I do not feel safe. And I may never find safety. But I feel peace. And peace is more than I ever thought I could have.